But that's what we do. 16% is usual average of your willow. Face off. Traditionally we would just clean the face off, decide which end we're going to put the handle in first. The reasons for this is if there's a mark, like a knot mark, say there, right in the middle of the bat, we would turn it around and put the handle in this end and use this end. It's a bit cleaner. There'll be bats out there you maybe got that we've glued up, bat makers are glued up, you won't even know about it. You won't be able to spot it, but that is what we have to put up with. The glues are stronger in the wood now. These are the ends that we're always fighting against to keep the strength really strong. The reason they split is because actually a piece of timber is always alive. How many people here have left their cricket bats in the garage? Yeah, worst place you can leave it, especially if it gets too cold. Because if it's really damp and moist, I could have a piece of wood sitting in my workshop. If I've got no heaters on or control the temperature in the room, it can gain ½ an ounce to an ounce in weight in just 1 week. And especially at the moment with the conditions that we've got outside now, it is so wet. Yeah. Don't know if everyone else can see that at the back as well. See, that would have to be glued up. All white wood glue. There's no special wood glues that we use. Traditionally, we do use animal glues that we heat up in a pot, and we use that as well. That does have a little bit more flexibility, but I do know a lot of modern bat makers now are just using normal white PVA wood glue. It is alright. Or bamboo. It's very, very hard. We now import them in. It's a lot cheaper for us to import them in. But this is how construction of a handle is. You can put rubbers in, you can put cork in for the springs. There's even another part here when it goes into the actual splice of it cleft. Bought by my old master. Now it's just easier for us to bind them in. So the handle's fitted. We get into the draw knife. You have to maybe bear with me. I don't know how strong these school vices are going to be. I usually work with a big bench that sits on top. But I'm going to try and use this. I said to Warren I can probably use this bench and show it. In fact, I'll give out to you. Anyone know what this is? Yes, young man. No, this is actually a draw knife. Quite sharp, very old. This one here is about 80 years old actually. You've got to draw the wood off. Years ago, I was a massive bloke, had big muscles, everything, doing this all the time. I think one of the masters here, which just shows you. I've brought some other examples of my old bats here. Don't know if anybody here knows Alan Lamb, youngsters. Heard of Alan Lamb? Maybe not. Maybe some parents would have done. But this would be a cricket bat here used by Alan Lamb. He played for England and Northants. But you see, like, that's a really, really old bat. This bat is about 20 years old. So I say we're looking at bat maybe, could easily be 50, 60 years old. Not too much difference actually, that is a real big one. Here's my first ever senior cricket bat. Gunner Moore, it weighed £2.9 ounces, and actually you know what, it was too heavy for me. I now use a bat that's only 2.8. I'm talking old terms because I don't know grams. It's going to be a bit of pound and ounces. So the next stage on here then, like I said to you, is the bats have changed in profiles. So what we do have now is we have bats that are concave. Everybody see that across? So we've gone from the flat, and we've got back concave. Actually, to show you another process on that, this is easy to see. You can see on this one here. I suppose no bars and keep the bat light. Obviously, if you keep that as a traditional bat, it is going to be heavier. And obviously, this is a bat here. So if you compare this, these are now called like these supersized clefts, where the edges, you can get edges up to about 50 millimetres. Before, edges could only go up to about 30 millimetres. So the actual clefts now a traditional cleft. This is a traditional cleft here, but up to about 8 years ago, we're now getting bigger clefts. So that cleft there, you get a maximum of maybe 30, 35 millimetre edge, whereas these are the new ones now. So you can go up to about a 50 millimetre edge. I don't think so. I still feel that you can get a better middle from a cricket bat, from a traditional shape, than these modern things. We'd always use drums. We have to use things like this. This is all coming from, here's a bat here. This is actually, I'm not going to say just because he's done it, but that he would use. This is what a lot of the modern Puma players at the moment, players' bats, would use. So, thick edge, a little bit of concaving into it. But like I said to you, to get to these blocks, we have to put sandpaper onto the cricket bats that we first made. When we make this profile, we make it by hand, and we have to get these blocks. So what we'd do then, we would sand these blocks to get that profile. Use like these brush sanders. So that's to do a really deep concave on this plane. Then for a small shallow concave, and these have all been made, and the blades have to do. So on one side I've got a shallow, one side on a deep. When balanced, the big thing when balancing a cricket bat, every piece of wood will be different. I can get 8 pieces of wood from the same round of tree. When I say the round of a tree, I mean the trunk. When it's all split, I can get 8 pieces of wood. But depending on how they've dried, what side the sun's been on them, which way the wind is hitting them, they will all weigh a different weight. So we can use this on here when we're doing the real final work. To bow. And the reason we need the bow is because it gives it good width. We have rubbers in the cane handles, and the reason we have the rubbers is so it does have a bit of whip in it. If we didn't have the whip, the bat just wouldn't perform. Some people might raise their eyebrows, but if it snaps, the handle's faulty. So it's better that it goes in my workshop than goes with somebody playing in the middle. So there is a lot of things that are done. Or what we might do, we can put them in, sometimes when I'm doing them as well, I don't want to keep going down on the floor. We'll just get them in the bend. See if we do it on this one. And all we do is just do this. But what we're doing now, we're just loosening up the glues as well around the cork and the rubber and the cane. So that's got a bit more whip into it, so it's got a bit more bend. And that's lovely now. No more so. The reason we try to do it is, the weight of a handle can maybe be £3. The weight of this is £0.5 pound. So what we're trying to say is, you know when I said earlier we're trying to make cricket bats to keep them light, so maybe a bat that's weighing 211, that's £2 11 ounces. I don't know what it is in grams, so I'm sorry there. I'll do it if I go and get a chart out. But what we're doing then is changing a 211 into a 29. Because the biggest thing, when at Puma, 80% of my production will be, I'll be asked to make cricket bats from 2.6 to 2.9, 2.10. I don't want bats in store, sort of 2.11, 2.12, 2.13, but actually the most common weights for us to make are 2.9, 2.10, 2.11 and upwards. So everyone's fighting to get the light wood. If I was to order 100 pieces of wood from my willow merchants, I would get it distributed 33% light, 33% medium weight, and 33% heavy weight. Authorised at MCC at Lords, who control all the laws and rulings on cricket bat. We got it passed because this shaft didn't go anywhere past the shoulder line. So it's all illegal. So they were saying, as long as nothing's below there other than wood, they were happy. Whereas Gray Nichols then came along and did an all-in-one shaft, just put it in the market. MCC didn't like it. So in the end they said, you know what, we'll just ban all artificial handles. So that was the end of it. So it's a bit of a shame, because we weren't really using it with first class players. It was more for production out to the general public.